Hello everybody, how are you today? I hope you've had a great week so far. Today I'd like to just touch on something that is very basic, which is giving back and also education. I've always believed that education is one of the most important enablers for society to move forward and thrive culturally and economically. We've seen from research shared many times over how economically thriving countries with the highest happiness index have a solid grounding built upon a focused and inclusive education system. We have some ways to go towards this for the countries in our region, especially the developing countries. So how do we become more proactive? When we were, as a family, when I was in Bintulu with my family, I had the chance to serve on the PIBG or Parents Teachers Association as the president for the school that my children went to. I made that decision to be active because I know there were a lot of improvements on the ground in Bintulu for that particular school and also the education ecosystem. Maybe if I was involved, I could impact it directly or indirectly. So we did a couple of things with the school, impacted them in a couple of ways, not just monetarily via by donations from companies, but also suggestions, bring speakers externally to the school to try and have a mindset change for the teachers. Yeah? So that's one thing. If you have children and you have the opportunity to serve on the PTA boards or PIBG, please do so. I really do encourage you to do that so that we can be directly involved in the children's education. What else or what other opportunities are there for us to impact education in our country? I'd like to share with you one organization that has impacted thousands or is impacting thousands of Malaysian children every school year since 2010. That organization is For Malaysia, and it is founded on the belief that no children shall be left behind and that each child should be given access to great education. Their education ecosystem or their ecosystem focuses on the children themselves and the communities that the children live in, whilst partnering with the Ministry of Education. They have impacted a lot of children, around 130,000 children up to this year have been impacted by the efforts by TFM. They have been to 10 states and many other impacts in terms of what they're doing. So I do believe that TFM is doing great work on the ground to ensure more children are given access to excellent education. What I love about how TFM is set up is that on their own, they are already impacting the education system in Malaysia. On their own, they are already impacting education in the country. But one of the most important things that they've done is that they've also encouraged their fellows or the teachers that work through them have also set up organizations at either small scale or bigger scale as alumni of TFM, and they are continuing the work that they do but in their own organization, so that the impact is continuous, and that's something that TFM encourages, and the ecosystem is really blooming. One other concern in terms of education that I have for the country right now is people have been talking about the lost generation. What that means is basically in my opinion, is that the generation in the COVID year, the pandemic year, and maybe to a certain extent some parts of next year, where the children have not had equal access to education, have not had the physical interaction with other children, have not had the normal schooling year, then some of these children will be left behind. So one of the efforts that TFM has put in place is not just for their own teachers or fellows, but they've opened up a section on their website to basically give tips, how-tos in terms of distance learning, or what we're looking at now is basically the Zoom classrooms that's ongoing throughout the country. They share best practices, they share the tools, and I think that's something that they've done on their own to not just impact their own fellows or teachers, but also to open it up to other teachers. So I really do recommend, if you're a teacher or yourself, or you are a parent, please do share the work that they're doing, support them as in any way you can, and if you are a leader, HR leader, or a leader that can influence decision making for corporate social responsibility programs for your organization, why not explore as part of your effort to support Teach for Malaysia for next year. I hope you can share, or you can spare some time to share this story about them and support their mission to change the education landscape in our country. That's all from me. This is Azri signing off. How can I help you today?